So
He
let's hear
says,
about it. Let's hear. I want to hear about it. I want to hear from you, Jesse. Thank you for filling in for me for a couple minutes.
"You're
Let's hear
welcome."
what's happened. I love that Jesse started that off and said how well it worked for him. Um, talk to me about you. What did you experience? Unmute yourselves. I love to hear you.
I just have mine on
Nobody
every
wants to
morning,
talk.
Krista.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Now I have mine on every morning. If a negative thought comes across, I switch it right back over to the next hand. Just keep moving it. Just eliminate that. Get that positive mindset every day.
Great, great. And the first thing when you get out of bed, you should say, today is going to be a good day. Today is going to be a good day. First thing you say before you hit the feet, today is going to be a good day. Now, some of you might think this kind of stuff can seem corny, but I'll tell you what, it's absolutely what helps the uber successful people be that way. They are in constant check with their mindset. Anybody else? And hey, there's a lot of people that aren't showing their calendars. Yes, April.
So I did it, and then I actually introduced it to my daughter, who's 10, and she did it, and it was really good for her, especially because, she's 10 and she's already body shaming herself and stuff. So it was really good, actually.
Good. I love that when the kids see it and they ask about it and they start doing it. So I would encourage all of you to turn your videos on, and here's why. You'll be much more alert and involved. If we were in a meeting right now together, you can't put a bag over your face. So I always tell everyone, please show your video, right? I promise you'll get more out of it. You'll pay more attention. You'll engage more. You'll interact more. Remember, natural learning means that you engage, you're there, you're present. The more that you utilize natural learning, the more quickly you learn, the more quickly that you implement. All right. So today and I can't remember if I've done this, and I'm so sorry. I coach so much. So sometimes I get confused as to what I coach on and where I coach it. So are you wanting a kickstart on your business and you want to learn how to be the go-to professional in your industry? Well, guess what? I've got a free challenge for you. It's 5 days of coaching. It's brand new. Just go to KristaMashore.com/client conversion. That's KristaMashore.com/client conversion. And you'll get a free training with me for 5 straight days that's going to help kickstart you as the go-to professional in your industry. So sign up and I'll see you there. Have I gone over my listing process with you before? What's the process of what I do before I go on a listing appointment? Or have I ever gone over with you my I know you guys call it the what's my home worth ads, how we run those. Have I gone over that with you before, everybody?
You did a little bit, but I would love the listing process again.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and go over it again. So then, but only if you all show your videos. Otherwise, I'm not going to do. I'm just going to sit here and just not say anything. They're not listening to me, Jesse. My students listen to me. Okay. So first, let's talk about how
Hold on. All right. You want, so I'm still on my phone. I'm trying to get back to my desktop. So if you want to turn their cameras on. So the way I do it, Krista, ready? I compliment the people who have their cameras on, right? Don Conley, Craig Chastain, Dominic, let's see, Terry's got a camera on, Evelyn, Yukiko. You guys are awesome. You got your cameras on. I'm just scrolling through the pages on my phone. So and we're not gonna speak negatively about anyone who doesn't have their camera on. Let's see if I can pick someone who I'm not gonna talk to. Who just turned their camera on? Don.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Leslie.
Don,
thank you,
keep your camera off.
Galena. See, oh my gosh, the whole top row did. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. John just got out of the shower. He's like, screw it, man. Just make sure they still only see my face.
That's why I love Don. Don's like, I follow directions no matter what. Don, it's okay. You can wait till you put a shirt on.
Okay. So thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. So let's talk about the listing process. First of all, last week, I'm pretty sure it was the week before, the week before, we got $75,000 worth of commissions from 3 homes that we listed via a CMA drop off. So what that is we run ads to get people to want to give us their contact information to ask for a home evaluation. But the process is not just asking for an ad. It's the whole process before that, that it works so well. Okay. Remember, I always talk to you about making sure that if you ever meet anybody at a party, you date them first. You just don't see them and say, let's get married. You date for a while, right? You hold hands, you text, you FaceTime, you kiss, you hug, you get engaged, you get married, and then, the bam, all the good stuff happens, right? So that's what I want you to think about with your community, is that it takes time to develop trust from somebody. In order for people to want to give you their information, it's getting harder and harder. When I first started coaching 3 years ago, it was like you needed to have, 12 touches before somebody would ever download or click or anything. Now it's around 33. So somebody needs to engage with you around 33 times before they will ever give you their contact information, or before they'll ever raise their hand and say, hey, will you, choose me, call me, kind of a thing. And the reason being is because we're constantly just we're getting so much thrown at us. We're all multitasking, which means we're not getting as much done. We're not, we're just too distracted, right? We've got so many apps and dings and pings and pongs. So the more likely that someone will see you as more often, the more likely they'll want to give you their information. So when we run What's My Home Worth ads, first what we do is we target sellers specifically by giving seller content, right? We talk about, we give market updates. We talk about certain areas. We talked about what's happening with interest rates. We talk about like the whole campaign that I did for my students for this month was giving them, 8 scripts that they could use to talk to sellers who are afraid of selling because they don't think they'll have anywhere to go, right? So we ran a campaign around that. So then what's happening is now we're educating sellers, and you can, when you run an ad, let's say on Facebook, and you're targeting sellers because you're doing seller content, right? What happens is you can tell when sellers start to watch, or people watch a certain amount of a video. So if I produce a 1 minute or 2 minute video and somebody watches, let's just say 75% of it, 80% of it, 100% of it, we've got plenty of through plays. Through play means that they've watched the entire thing. Most likely they're thinking about selling, or they're thinking about real estate in some way. So then we target more videos about selling to them. Then we'll target testimonials to them. Then we'll target a market analysis to them. Then we'll give them, hey, would you like to know the value of your home? Right? When they give us the value of their home, I'm going to tell you the process that we do from start to scratch. And it's very similar to what we do prior to going on a listing presentation. And remember, what I tell my students is that you're always on a job interview, right? Anything and everything that you do is a representation of how you do business. It spells, this is Krista. So you're going to get from her. Okay. So meaning when I'm talking about this, I'm not just talking about like your business cards and that kind of thing. I'm talking about everything. So anytime somebody sees something from you or an action from you before they are working with you, they really are determining whether or not they want to work with you. Right. So when somebody requests a home market analysis, and I'll ask this question because I know a lot of you are going to raise your hand and say you do, and I'll guarantee you that all of you are my students. So how many of you actually, when somebody requests a market analysis from you online, how many of you hand deliver the market analysis? Do this. John, yep, my students. So far, everyone I see are all my students. Good. Donko, are you my student? That's good if you do. Good job. You do it. Awesome. Okay. So here's what we do. We hand deliver the market analysis. Then when we're at the property, we take a bomb video, letting them know. We knock on the door. If they don't answer, we take a bomb video, letting them know that we put a market analysis on their door, and also to expect one in the mail. Be sure to check your spam folder. Then we go back to the home. If it's a step two meaning they gave us all their information, name, phone number, email. And I encourage my students, if they have the email address, to do this anyways, if they have the time. And they do a bomb video of the CMA, where they actually show the CMA on the screen with their picture or the video of them. And they talk all about what the CMA is. Then they email that over to them. They also, if my students are a co-author with me of the book, they also hand deliver my book or their book. If they're co-author with me, they send a digital copy of my book as well, okay, or their book. And then they also drop off the marketing plan. So we have a marketing plan that we drop off. They call the day before and text and email the day before to remind people of it, and then send a text message and an email 4 hours before their arrival. Now, I'll tell you, when I'm going up and my students are going up against other people, when most people just call and book the appointment, that we've won before we even arrived. We call it win before you arrive, right? Somebody's getting 7 to 9 touch points from me before I even show up. And they're like, wow, you're the only person that did this. You're the only person that dropped this off. I've heard that hundreds of times. You're the only person that did this. And I always say, you're right. This is exactly what you should expect when you work with me. If I'm doing all this before I even get your business, imagine what it's going to be like once I actually do. My goal is to get a 5-star review from every single client that I work with. Okay. So that's the process. I've number one, shown them that I'm different than anyone else. I've shown them that I take them serious, that they're important to me. Now we've just added a step. I've got to show you guys because it's so freaking cool. Let me find this real quickly here. Hold on. let me see, marketing. Okay. So now we're adding a step where, wrong one. Okay, so now we're adding a step. I'll show you my screen. Now we're adding a step, and I haven't even taught this yet, so I will to them. We're adding a step now where basically we kind of want to sort of, this is going to be like on a whiteboard or on my digital whiteboard, and I'm going to be standing like next to it pointing. My brother will be on the other side, and we're just going to take the picture one time, and then we're doing it to where we can actually put the name of the people and the address when it's set in the middle. See where it says strategy for selling? That's going to be for Krista Mashore, 1234 A Street is going to go inside of there. And I'm talking about the strategy behind marketing, disclosures, negotiations, showing on site, timing, preparing, etc. We're also going to add to that, as well as we're doing something where we talk about all the different questions that people ask regarding every single area of marketing, and then every single area of each one of those different stages. And we're bringing that up to people. When we're there, we're saying things like, hey, you probably have questions about blah, 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 right? Then it shows them that we understand and know about the process of each of these things. It also then gives them permission to want to ask more questions, okay? So we do that just for a CMA drop-off. We do the exact same thing before a listing presentation. If we get it, then one series of events happens. If we don't get it, another series happens. If we go on a listing presentation right before we even leave the house, we do another bomb video saying, hey, it's Krista. Just love meeting with you. We try to mention something specific about the house. I really love that pool. I can't imagine seeing the buyers in there. Can't wait to sell your home. I would so love to work with you. Trying to kind of assume the sale, right? Now, imagine who they are competing with. They're competing with most agents who don't take the time to do any of those things. Maybe they'll call to remind, maybe they've got an automatic, thing set up. And all of this is done all through our CRM. So it's all these systems and workflows and processes are set up through our CRM. Okay. And then when we get there, we have, obviously a really beautiful presentation packet that we deliver. We've got samples of our flyers, samples of our just listed cards, samples of our just sold cards. We have specific, and before the listing presentation too, they get a 17-minute video from me that basically discredits like traditional marketing styles, things like open houses, door knocking, cold calling, broker stores, and talks all about 21st century digital marketing strategies. I mean, it's literally 17 minutes going into detail of how we get hundreds and hundreds of hours of watch time, hundreds of thousands of views on all of our properties. And then we state the stats to back that. Okay. This book is the exact same thing. This book, it's What to Expect When Selling Your Home. I've got one copy that says what to expect when selling East County, what to expect when selling Deer Ridge and Shadow Lakes, because I really farm that area very, very heavily. And this book is the same. It talks all about 21st century digital marketing strategies, things like funnels and landing pages and engagements and, the psychology of a buyer and seller, all the different questions they should ask. We have examples and proof that shows in here what we do, right? And then when we go to listing presentation, now that I've just done so much before I've gotten there, they've already kind of decided that they're going to work with us. Now, mind you, another thing is that they've seen me so many times on social media, right? Like they've gotten to know me. They're seeing videos, 2 or 3 videos a week of me. Once they come into our CRM, they're tagged through Zapier automatically. Then we tag them that they're on our market like newsletter, our digital newsletter. And on that digital newsletter, we change the videos that go out. So we have a different market update, one national, one local that goes out every single 2 weeks. So again, we're just continuing to nurture them. Now, remember, when you're utilizing, I specialize in Facebook. When you're utilizing Facebook, we also are, on YouTube and all that great stuff. But when you're on Facebook, now we're targeting these people and we're continuing to let them see that we're community market leaders because they're seeing all of the content that we do, right? They're seeing our videos, they're seeing market updates, they're seeing community videos, they're seeing, everything real estate or community related. They are seeing us over and over and over again. So now I'm inadvertently nurturing. Now, when you do this properly, your referrals goes up, you retain more clients, and you get more repeat clients from past clients because they aren't able to forget about you, right? So this is the kind of process that we just do for the listing presentation and for the CMA drop off. But most of our workflows and action plans are very, very similar to this, and how we go about helping, how we go about just standing out and being different, right? In order for you to just really, really dominate your area, you have to stand out and be different, right? other people are going to their open houses, and they might be saying they're using social media, but in my video, I say this exactly. Many agents will use the buzz term that they use social media. However, they're not utilizing it correctly. They're doing things like putting it on their business page and putting it on their personal page. However, no one is seeing it because Facebook is a business and you have to pay to play. In order for me to expose your home to the masses, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you have to use target market ads. We can actually geo-target people. All right. And then we get numbers like this. And I showed them, 150,000 views and how we got 300 hours and 500 hours and 600 hours of watch time on other videos. And then I remind them about the stats from the National Association of Realtors, how 67% of buyers will walk through a home that they see online, and then compare to my competitors with, of course, their names crossed off to show, see how this one's get 30 or 40 views. We have 127,000. That right there is how you get a full price commission from people, and they don't argue. They just go, no problem. I pretty much decided to hire you when I saw your video. Where do I sign? This will also increase your the type of people that you're attracting. So your average price point will go up from your homes. This strategy is, we see that all the time. They sell more houses, but they sell higher priced houses because they're reaching more people. So right now, what have I done? Right now, number one, I've given myself more leverage, right? Because now I have more chances at bat because I'm being exposed and being seen by the masses all the time, not just by my friends and family. Okay. Right now, when you're sending out newsletters and those kind of things, or you're even just posting on your personal page, your Facebook page, just your friends and family are seeing you, because that's how Facebook's algorithm works, right? It says, hey, Krista and Mike are talking. I'm going to keep showing Mike more stuff. But I'm purposely putting my information in front of my community over and over and over and over again, right? So it's just total top of mind. So at least when they think real estate, they think about me. And then once they actually decide they want to meet with me, I make sure I do all these different activities that I know 100% of my competitors are not doing. And I know that for sure because I ask, oh, did anyone else do like this? And they say, no, we got a phone call. That was about it, right? I go, oh, great, And without putting them down, I always say, well, you can expect this level of service all the time from me. I take it very, very seriously. I do this full time, and you deserve it. This is like your most valued asset. You deserve all this and so much more. So, again, it's called winning before you arrive in multiple avenues. Number one, every time you touch somebody, right? Bomb video, drop off a card, send your listing presentation, drop off a book, do the digital book, do the video, text message and email reminders the day before, text message and email reminders 4 hours before. All those things that you're doing, you are showing that seller, man, she does her job good. Man, he does his job good. No one else did this, right? It's like you're planting little seeds of doubt against all of your competitors. This is how somebody that's a brand new agent can beat out a top producing agent, because the top producing agent, in most cases, what I find in a lot of areas is most top producers are top producers from what I call by default, meaning they're top producers because they've been just the top producer forever. All it takes is somebody to come in who is different, who is innovative, who gets massive exposure, and they can quickly take over. Also, making sure that you have physical examples of everything once you get there. I'm sure you all know this, but having physical examples. Okay, that's pretty much the process of how we get our listings. And as I said, just last week alone, we got 3 listings this way. So some people will say, well, isn't it a lot of money, Krista, to do that? Yes, it is. But isn't $75,000 a lot of money too? So I choose to do, for 10 homes that we don't get, for the one that we do, it makes it 100% worth it, right? The drive there, meeting people, doing the listing giving them my book, sending them my marketing plan, all of that is worth it, because for the 1 out of 10, that we get, worth every darn penny. And I will tell you, I've gone to people's houses and they've got like stacks of stuff for me. I'm like, wow, it's kind of weird, right? But they keep it. And people, just this book alone, I mean, they do not throw this away. I just had 24,500 of these books delivered to almost every single home in Brentwood and in Oakley. And we go there now, they're like, oh, we already got it, Krista, don't worry about it. Like, we drop it off too before the listing presentation. Like, oh, we already got it. Save your money. We already got it. We got it in the house. Okay, cool. Right. So it does work. Right. It does work. So now they're seeing your videos all the time. They're getting all these things from you. They're getting, the book dropped off. It's like you go from, who is this person to who is that person that I just keep seeing everywhere? Make sense? Okay. You guys don't ask a lot of questions. I always feel like if I was you, I'd be asking a lot of questions, but you guys don't. April, reach out to Krista at KristaMashore.com. Okay. Questions. What questions? We've got 7 whole minutes. I went through that really quick.
I got a question, Krista.
Thank you. I feel like no one likes me.
So regarding your retargeting and all the kind of back end things you're doing, are you guys handling that in-house or is it a third party?
No, that's what we do. I teach that. That's what I teach my students.
Hey,
The whole process
real
we
quick
teach our students. Yes, Terry.
You said you were using a particular CRM that connected really well with Zap and kind of made all this possible. Would you mind sharing which one you're using? Because that's
Yeah,
always the
so
big debate.
we're changing, but right now we use RealVolve. So right now we use RealVolve is our CRM because it like really speaks to everyone. But I'm getting one made right now called I'm white labeling it from Go High Level. They've imported all my funnels, all my landing pages, all my workflows, and everything into it. So and don't let me forget, you guys, I have got a training Monday and Tuesday that I'm going to be giving you. It's a 3-hour long training. It's all about mindset, building your wealth map, not the wealth chart. It's a wealth map for your mind. And then we're going to be doing, I'm going to teach you how to get more done in a week than you do in a month. Okay. So we're going to go through step by step. It'll be an hour and a half on Monday, an hour and a half on Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 Pacific. I know it's during this time. I apologize. It's the only time I could do it with my team. So it's from 8 a.m. to 9:30 Pacific. I'll put the link in here as soon as my team gets it to me. And if I don't, I'll stick it into the Agent Power Huddle, the Agent Collective area. But I want to make sure that you guys know about that because I promised you before that I would get that for you. Hey, Annie, I don't have time to read this. Did you email me at the link so I could give them the link? I want to be able to make sure we give them all the things they're going to need for it as well. So we'll be emailing you something called the wealth map. It's probably about 12 to 18 pages. And we'll be emailing you something to really help you once you build your wealth map, how to put that wealth map and make it into specific goals. And then we're going to teach you how to take those goals and break them down into specific tasks and activities, and then put them down for a month and then into a week. So we'll be doing that together next week, Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 9:30 Pacific. If any of you are interested, I'll get you the link. So what was that question? I'm sorry, Terry.
Oh no, that was great. That was I was asking about the CRM. But as a follow-up question, your Facebook funnels, when you're doing the retargeting, the original videos that you put out, the content related to the seller, are you just talking about their pitfalls, like what they should be looking out for, the questions they should ask? Are you just giving them basically like a short version of your listing presentation, but in video form?
Yep, absolutely. 17-minute long. But I show them all the digital marketing. So like, for example, let me give you an example. So for example, I will show them things like this. I'm just going to share my whole screen. So I don't like that. Oh, here we go. Because you're seeing everything. So don't judge me. But, so like I'm showing them things like this, like in the video, I'll show them how, like, this one home got 357 hours, of watch time on it. And then I'll show them like this one that got, 555 hours of watch time. So I'll show them like multiple examples. And then I'll also show them, ads that I've run and how like this is, this ad got 6,402 post clicks. That means 6,400 people, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, clicked on this home, right? And we reached 50,000 people, which is actually low for us, but we got 6,400 people to click on your ad. And remember, according to the National Association of Realtors, 67% of buyers will walk through a home that they see online with 555 hours and 357 hours and, 6,000 on just each individual video and post. Imagine how much exposure we're going to get for you. Now, if someone goes up against me and says, I use social media, and I tell them, please make sure if they tell you they use social media, they show you these kinds of things. Otherwise, they're just doing things like posting on their business page and their personal page. No one's seeing it, unfortunately, because Facebook is a business and I specialize in teaching people across the country how to do this. So that's what we say. So we teach our that's what we teach. Right.
I have a question about your budget on those videos that you're showing us. Like, what is your average cost per video that you're promoting to be able to get those kind of results?
$200.
That's it.
$200. But it takes time to get that.
How much per day, like the time span, that whole thing.
So it depends. So in other words, if the houses are flying off the charts, I like my videos to show at least for 2 weeks, right? But we've been able to, like, we've got one guy he calls it the 75 club or 24-hour club. And it's like he gets 75 hours of watch time within 24 hours of their home going on the market. So he just does like $80 the first day, $80 the second day, because he has this whole program that he has put him in based on what we've taught him. And so it just depends on what you want, right? Right now, houses are flying off the shelf. And so we'll do like a week, but I still want people to see them. And here's why, because when I'm marketing my homes for my sellers, I'm also absolutely marketing myself. Remember, you're always on a job interview. So anytime somebody sees me, it's like, they see how I market, what I do, and I'm exposing my people and myself as well. And then we create, like, we have some cool videos coming. I'll show you guys next week, but we create like funny videos too. Like we just did one. It was, it's called Bad Neighbors, and that one's coming out this week. And so we do funny ones because people like the 5 E's of video. You want to educate, entertain, be enthusiastic, engage, and encourage to take action, right? And educate. So those are all important parts of videos. It's not just always, real estate. It's fun stuff. It's getting to know me. Like I've done things where one time I was at a conference and I grabbed a pair of underwear and stuck it in my head to use as a ponytail. And I just did it like off the whim. And people were like, oh my God, like that got so much engagement because it's just being real, So we do things where we're normal too, and not just always business. So people get to know you, but you have to understand, according to the Parasocial Relationship, baby.
Have a great day. Love you.
I love you. According to the Parasocial Relationship, people start to develop a relationship with you, like a one-sided relationship with you through video. So they already have chosen me before I've even arrived, just because they like me in most cases. If people are calling you and you're doing this type of marketing, it's called attraction-based marketing. They already know they're going to hire you before you get there. And then when you follow up by all those other things I just said, it's like, man, you're just reel them in. It's like taking candy from a baby. And I'm telling you, when you say like, we used to charge 6%, we'd take 3.5% and we would give 2.5%. It's gotten so competitive here. People are doing it for 4, 3, 1. I mean, it's insane how bad it is. So now we are still 5.5%. We take 3, we give 2.5%, and they take it. They do it all day long, even though my competitors are doing, for less. So when they ask us to go into that, we just say no, because all these things that I'm showing you, we spend money to get you more money, right? To get your home more exposure. So. And people appreciate this kind of stuff. They appreciate me not, and I tell them, how open houses don't work. And I give them the stat and they're like, oh my God, I didn't want to do open houses anyways. I'm afraid of them and the COVID and blah, blah, blah. Like they love not having to have an open house. Right. So this is much more effective anyways. And it's much more effective for you because for you to utilize your time this way, 555 hours of watch time on a video, you got to think about that. Like that is massive. Okay. 300, let's just say you get 50. That's like doing 10 weeks of open houses, right? I mean, it's just like, and you do it every single week and you're just branding yourself. It's like branding. They cannot not think about you. Then you follow it up with, man, I'm a super badass of an agent because I have to do all these things that no one else is. Okay. And then you show them all the things that you're doing that no one else is. That is your unique value add. They talk about having a unique selling proposition. What do you think that is? When my competitors are going and they're saying things like, oh, we do this, and this, and I'm like, whammo. And they're all, wow. So most often it's just like, hey, Krista, we watched your video and where do we sign? Like, we love you. Where do we sign? Then they tell us the details. I have not gone on. Last year I went on, I think 5 listing presentations because my one of my people left. And so I had to teach my brother and he wasn't quite as confident as I was. This process works and I don't even go on listing presentations now, right? And I'm like the face of Homes by Krista. I've taught my team how to do it. They followed my exact systems. I work on Homes by Krista maybe 5% of the time. I think we're going to sell 90 properties this year. And I've got just myself, which is just like overseeing everything and who I specialize in these strategies and learning this and continuing to learn because it changes all the time. And then I've got my brother who's full-time. So he's the listing guy. He goes and takes the listing. And then I have a full-time transaction coordinator and a part-time marketer and a part-time videographer. So, it works, right? Like, and the 5 or 6, 7, 8 years before I left real estate, when I was just selling, I would not work weekends. I mean, rarely would I work a weekend and I would never work past 6 o'clock. I would stop my day at 4, have my last listing presentation at 4, because people will wait when you are different. When they respect you and they see how unique you are, they will wait. They will pay you more and they will wait. I guarantee it. So that's how we get our listings, right? So hopefully that was helpful to you and thank you. Good. I finally get a thumbs up. You guys are like not even asking any questions. I'm going, are these guys from another planet or what? If I had someone teaching me this crap when I was you, I'd be like, thank you, God. Thanks, Mike. Okay.
Yeah, this is great. There's lots of questions, Krista, in the group chat.
Well, you know what? I have another meeting with my EXP people, so I can't go to that. But what I can do is I want to just put in here I'm going to put in here the link for, yes, here we go. So I'm going to give, the link is Call with Krista. So I'll put it here right now. And let me give you guys the paperwork that you need for that. Okay. So if you just give me 1 minute, I'm going to paste that in there. So everyone, oops, that was the wrong thing. Give me 1 second. I want to give you what you're going to need again for it. All right. So you're going to need this. I got too many things up. So you're going to need that. So Call with Krista is the Zoom link that you're going to go to. All right, everyone. Then let me give you the other 2 things that you're going to need. You want to show up to this. I guarantee you it's going to knock your socks off, because I've just taught it already twice and my students loved it. And I really, really want you to understand that if you want to create this amazing life, you have to plan for it, right? So everyone, copy and paste those. If you can do me a favor, too, Autumn, if you're here, can you take all of that? And the time is 8 o'clock to 9:30. Monday. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, and Tuesday. It's next Monday. So what date is that? That is the date is that's the 16th. Okay. 16th, Tuesday. Next Monday, the 16th.
For some reason, I'm not seeing it in the chat. I don't know why.
Everyone, I
You guys
think
don't
you're
see it?
responding to someone individually, Krista.
No, it says me to everyone in waiting room. Oh, why is that to everyone in the waiting room? So weird.
Oops.
Are there people in the waiting room? Command X. Let me just change that. Command C. Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry that I'm late too. Very early ball. So, everyone in meeting. Oh, this is better. Okay. Command B. Please work. Command C. Okay, there you go. Can you all see that now?
Yes.
Okay, so next Monday and Tuesday from 8 to 9:30, it's callwithkrista.com. There's 2 different things there you want to click. It's the wealth map and it's the setting up your 1 week month kind of a thing. I leave it to you. Make your choices if no one's looking. Okay, love you. Oh, thanks, honey. Love you.
Those are the best I've ever seen them. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Sorry, I just got them done. I did my eyebrows tattooed. My daughter's like,
amazing.
oh, it's my daughter. She's like,
so
I love you. I'm feeling good today. Okay, so yeah, so that is happening next week. If you can, Autumn or Zach, please put it in the Agent Power, the Agent Huddle, and all those places. The Power Huddle, and yeah, it'd be great. Okay, any more questions? You guys good? I'm totally late. I gotta go. Bye. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.
Thanks, Krista.
Bye. Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.